Also new at noon, a Glendale high school teacher is in custody accused of spying on students who were changing. Police arrested Esteban Carrion. According to court documents, he invited multiple students over to his class from his class over spring break to earn extra credit for media class. As part of the project, students had to change into different outfits. Police say one of those students discovered a hidden camera plugged into the wall of the changing room and later found other hidden cameras in the room. Carrion found out and tried accusing them of stealing property that belonged to the janitor. Detectives say one of the students took one of those cameras home and showed their parents. Police were called and Carrion was arrested. This is still a developing story. We've got a crew working on updates for Good Evening Arizona.